So we need to talk about Jessi Draper from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and her recent interview on Call Her Daddy, because she talked about some serious allegations against her husband Jordan, including paying for escorts, having orgies, plus blackmailing and spying on her. So I'm going to go through the biggest reveals from the interview and also some extra background information, and I've done the hard work so you don't have to. Now, before we start with Jessi's situation, I do need to give some background about the whole Secret Lives of Mormon Wives situation because it is relevant to what Jessi was talking about. So in the days leading up to this interview, a disturbing video from a 2023 altercation between fellow Secret Lives of Mormon Wives co-star Taylor Frankie Paul and her ex-husband Dakota Mortensen was released by TMZ. A child was involved in the incident and it was pretty upsetting for everyone, and off the back of that, Taylor's upcoming season of The Bachelorette was cancelled, and the entire Mormon Wives cast decided to pause filming for season 5 to process everything that was happening. And I have done a previous video about this and I'll link to that in the description. Jessi was asked about all of this in the interview. She said the cast knew about the video back in 2023, but they'd never actually seen it until it was publicly released. Alex asked who she thinks leaked the video to TMZ, and Jessi said she doesn't know for certain, but if she had to guess, it was probably Dakota. She said she also thinks the timing of the video being released is suspicious because it was right before Taylor's season of The Bachelorette was about to premiere, and Jessi speculated that Dakota may have been holding the video over Taylor's head. Jessi added that her husband Jordan and Dakota are very close, and Jordan was actually with Dakota when he filed the police report against Taylor, so there's a lot of crossover between these two situations. Jessi said she spoke to Taylor right before the interview, and Taylor seemed positive, and when Taylor's Bachelorette cancellation was announced, Taylor's first instinct was to actually call Jessi to ask how she was doing, because at that point, Jessi's divorce news had just broken as well. So it's been a pretty chaotic time for the whole cast of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, but on top of that, Jordan actually filed for divorce before Jessi found out, and that's where the whole situation kicked off. So let's start with what Jessi said about the divorce in the interview. Jessi was clear in saying that she was the one who ended the relationship. She told Jordan on Friday, the 13th of March, that she wanted a divorce. According to Jessi, Jordan did not want the divorce, but then less than a week later, Jordan went ahead and filed the divorce paperwork without telling her, and she actually found out about it because TMZ texted her saying that they had seen the filing, and that's how she learned that it was official. What made this whole thing worse was, according to Jessi, they had made an agreement to tell their children together before anything was filed, but that didn't happen. So Jessi felt blindsided and betrayed the way that Jordan handled it, even though she was the one who initiated the split. Apparently, when Jessi asked Jordan why he filed without telling her, he claimed that he didn't know that it would be made public. But she said, well, if that's the case, why did you give a statement to TMZ? So she effectively said that he was lying about not knowing the filing would be public. She revealed that Jordan even tried to include a clause in the divorce paperwork that would prevent her from talking about him on any podcast, but obviously she didn't sign that, which is why she's literally sitting on Call Her Daddy podcast talking about all of it now. I also saw that outside of the interview, according to TMZ, on top of the divorce filing, Jordan has filed for a temporary restraining order against Jessi the very next day. And Jessi immediately filed an opposition, and as of earlier this week, that restraining order was denied by a judge. So now let's get on to one of the craziest parts of the interview, which was the allegations of escorts. This is where things got really intense. Jessi revealed that when season 1 of Mormon Wives first dropped, an escort service reached out to her directly. A woman who works for the service contacted her, sent her screenshots of messages from Jordan's phone number, and told her Jordan had been trying to arrange meetups and had even booked a hotel room. Jessi said she confronted Jordan with the evidence, and he completely denied it, saying that they were in Hollywood now and that people would try and tear them apart, and said it might even be AI generated. But Jessi said the woman knew specific details, like the fact that Jordan was in Texas at the time doing summer sales, which she wouldn't have been able to know otherwise. And this was before the show had even aired, so no one knew who any of the cast members were yet. And here's the timeline that really changes things. According to Jessi, the Marciano situation, which was the emotional affair and the kiss that she had, which played out on season 3 of Mormon Wives, that happened approximately 2 weeks after she found out about Jordan's escort allegations. She said finding out about the escort influenced her decision to have the affair, although Jessi did say that's not an excuse for what she did. But she protected Jordan through the entire Marciano scandal and never publicly revealed that he had potentially hired escorts until now. She also revealed that more recently, about a month before the Call Her Daddy interview, Jessi's sister's husband was out at dinner and a friend of his came up to him and said that he goes to these parties that you have to pay for, and Jordan is always at these parties too, particularly around the time that their daughter Jovi was born. Alex asked what kind of parties, and Jessi said she assumes they were sex parties or orgies, because what other kind of parties do you pay for? And Jordan was apparently using Jessi's money to pay for these parties. Now, it's important to say that Jessi admitted she doesn't have direct proof of these parties, so it's all alleged. But she said the fact that it's now being reported elsewhere makes her think that there probably is some truth to it. Another crazy detail was apparently on the divorce paperwork. Jordan put down the affair between Jessi and Marciano as the official reason for the divorce, even though Jessi says they had already worked through that together, and Jordan had allegedly been hiring escorts and going to orgies. Now let's get on to the quite serious allegations of blackmail. One of the most serious allegations Jessi made was that Jordan had been blackmailing her with evidence of the Marciano affair. She said Jordan had text messages between her and Marciano saved on his phone, and he had them ready to go as a TikTok draft. According to Jessi, anytime they would have a fight, Jordan would threaten to post these text messages on TikTok and would say that he was going to ruin her life. In fact, one time they were arguing, and the argument escalated to the point where Jordan was threatening to post the TikTok. Jessi apparently chased him around the house trying to get his phone, and at that point, Jordan pulled out his phone, started recording Jessi, and said something along the lines of, quote, "What are you going to do? Should I call the cops? Are you going to be like Taylor?" Which was referencing Taylor's arrest for assault, which I mentioned earlier. Jessi said this was the moment she realized how unhealthy the situation had become, and she left Jordan the next day. And on top of this already wild accusations, she also said that Jordan was spying on her. Jessi revealed that she's since changed her phone number and only uses her old number to communicate with Jordan about the children because he has a history of spying on her. She told a story from last year involving TV personality Harry Jowsey, who recently made a guest appearance on Mormon Wives in season 4. Jessi said she and Harry share the same birthday, and she once responded to one of his Instagram stories saying that they were birthday twins. Harry sent her a voice memo that was completely innocent and asked how her birthday was going. But according to Jessi, Jordan hacked her Instagram while they were separated, accessed these messages with Harry, created a fake phone number, sent the voice memos to himself from this fake number, and then pretended that some random person had tipped him off about his wife cheating. He then confronted Jessi, accusing her of having a supposed affair with Harry Jowsey, and she says she eventually figured out that the whole thing had been orchestrated by Jordan himself. I did also see that after the Call Her Daddy interview came out, Harry posted about this moment, and he even revealed the contents of their voice notes, presumably to show that it was all innocent.
Whoa, B-Day twins. What are you doing, freaky girl?
I'm dying. That's so funny, but I think you're a lot younger than me, so I'm jealous. I'm just at the spa today. Life has been so freaking crazy and busy with the show, so I'm just relaxing. What about you?
Oh, nice. That sounds like such a good day. No, I'm good. I just did a little hike, massage, the usual, nothing crazy. Just taking it easy, you know. Not trying to be a naughty boy anymore.
Oh, nice. That sounds like a lot of fun. Hopefully you get to relax, and I hope you have a good birthday and get to do something fun tonight.
Going back to the Call Her Daddy interview, on top of all of this, Jessi said that Jordan would also track her location and listen in through cameras in their home. There were even times during their separation where he would repeat back conversations she'd had on the phone in the house because he had been listening through the security cameras in their home. And Jessi said that now Jordan is living in the house on his own, he's unplugged all of the cameras so she can't do the same thing. Then came some more serious allegations about emotional abuse and control. Jessi spoke at length about the dynamic in their marriage. She said they argued pretty much every day for 5 years. Jordan was critical of basically every aspect of her life, such as her business, her parenting, how she cleaned the house, how she dressed, among other things. She also said Jordan would tell her what to wear and that she needed to do Pilates every day. He also told her he believed in traditional gender roles and wanted her to be more, quote, in her feminine, while he was more in his masculine. Meanwhile, according to Jessi, Jordan was not working, they had a full-time nanny so he wasn't even looking after the children, and he would just play golf all day. So Jessi had been the sole provider for the family for the past 3 years. She also said Jordan would, quote, mom shame her by telling her her children needed her at home more and insinuating that she was not being a good mother. Jessi said her energy healer was in fact the first person to say the words emotional abuse to her. Jessi was in a session with her healer, and her healer asked if she was safe, and that's when Jessi opened up about everything to do with Jordan, and the healer told her this was emotional abuse, and that was the first time it actually clicked in Jessi's head. Jessi also acknowledged that this is her second marriage to end this way, so she recognizes a pattern. She went from one emotionally abusive marriage straight into another without giving herself time to heal, and she's now working through that in therapy. There was also a part where Jessi talked about the prenup and finances. For anyone who's watched season 4 of Mormon Wives, Jessi was worried that her prenup might not be valid because it didn't have any witness signatures. But Jessi confirmed that her lawyers have told her the prenup is valid, so she will not have to give up any of her businesses to Jordan. However, she will likely have to pay alimony and child support, and there may also be some kind of financial payout. She's currently staying in a hotel because she didn't feel safe living in the house with Jordan, partly because of his history of emotional abuse and partly because she's concerned about him spying on her. And when Jessi told him she was leaving, he said she could stay in the spare room of the house, which, to be clear, is the house that Jessi paid for, but Jessi chose to leave and stay in a hotel instead. So where does all of this leave the future of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives? Jessi said filming of season 5 is currently paused. Because of the Taylor and Dakota situation as well as her own divorce, the cast collectively decided to stop filming so they could process everything without the cameras around. She did say though that the cast are all keen to pick back up eventually, and there's clearly no shortage of drama. Jessi also made the decision to divorce Jordan while the cameras were down, which she sees as proof that this was not done for the show, because Jordan has apparently accused her of doing things just for the show in the past. It's also worth noting that as of time of recording this video, Jordan has not publicly responded to what Jessi said in the interview, so this interview is obviously only one side of the story, just to make that clear. So we'll have to wait to see if there are any future developments about this situation. So there you go, there were the biggest reveals from the Jessi Draper interview with Call Her Daddy. You should definitely go and watch the full podcast episode because it was really interesting, and I'll link to that in the description. But let me know what you think. Were you surprised by any of the revelations from Jessi's interview? And do you think that Mom Talk will survive this? Let me know in the comments. If you'd like to get early access and exclusive content, please consider joining my YouTube page. It's a cheap way to support the channel and it really does make a big difference. Also, if you can please like and comment on these videos because it does help to boost it in the algorithm and promote it to more people. And please make sure you subscribe if you like these videos and want to see more of them. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you'll join me for some more future videos. Thank you, bye!